Hey, have you ever heard the phrase, people with ADHD don't have object permanence? Maybe you even felt it yourself. Out of sight, out of mind. Your partner feels ignored when you're busy. You buy groceries, put them in the fridge, and you forget them till they're turned into a new life form. You start unloading the dishwasher. You get a text. You sit down near your computer to answer it. Suddenly you're learning Chinese while Gilmore Girls goes on in the background. And the dishwasher is still full. The internet has popularized this idea, linking it to be a core part of ADHD. But here's the truth. It's a myth. Not even a myth, a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding of a real psychological term. And we're going to talk about what the term is and what's actually happening with ADHD people. And more importantly, we're going to underline it with real-world strategies that help us do what we want. So let's clear this up first. Object permanence is actually a term from childhood development. It means that you know something's still there, even if you can't see it anymore. By the time we're about 2 years old, everyone has this, including ADHD people. So now you do have object permanence. The problem is something different. Adults with ADHD do not literally believe their friends, keys, or responsibilities vanish from the universe as soon as they leave their field of vision. So what's actually happening? If it's not a lack of object permanence, why does it feel like it? The real issues are two key players in the ADHD brain: attention regulation and working memory. Think of your attention not like a spotlight, that you focus on something and do that. Think of it like a puppy that gets excited about anything it sees and chases one after another until something else rushes right into the field of vision. You're chasing the shiniest, loudest, or most interesting thing at a time. And your working memory, that's like your brain's post-it note. It's where you temporarily hold information like, I need to call back Sarah, unload the dishwasher, get my kid from the kindergarten, my husband is late. For the ADHD brain, this post-it note is really tiny and it gets blown away easily by any gust of wind. So when something leaves your sight, it doesn't cease to exist, it just gets effortlessly pushed out of your working memory by the next stimulating thing. And this is not a character flaw, this is a neurobiological reality. This can get made even worse by a couple of things, and better if we know what to look out for. Number one is overwhelm, like looking at the whole task. The mountain, clean the kitchen. It's just too much, too many steps, too many things can go wrong. This is paralyzing. Your brain goes, nope, too many steps. I will be sitting right over here, reading some smart. Number two, low interest. Our brains are motivation dependent, not importance dependent. So a boring, repetitive task gives zero motivation to the tiny little attention puppy. This is a big one, quite literally, catastrophizing. If the stakes are high, like missing a major deadline or hurting your partner's feelings, the anxiety itself can be so overwhelming that your actual ability to do the task gets hampered by the anxiety, and just because you think the task is so big, it makes it bigger and harder. You avoid the task entirely, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, a spiral down. Now to the real-life strategies. Really important is, it's our brain, and it's not meant to do what we're doing, so we're working with it, not against it. And we're understanding what's happening, why we don't like it, and then we push those two in one line so that we can get through it. Strategy number one is make things obvious. Out of sight, out of mind, inside, in mind. Stop fighting it, just lean in. If you always lose your keys at the same space, put a bowl in that space. If you lose your keys all over the place, make the place that you decided they should go interesting. Make the bowl do a noise, let it quack at you or play some song. So the activity is fun and you know what's happening when you do that. If you forget to text your partner, they think you don't like them, but you are thinking about them all the time. Put their photo as your lock screen. Most people do this anyway, but every time you open it, you're reminded. Put a tiny passport picture next to the start button of your PS5. Put the handmade jewelry they gave you next to where you always prepare your food 3 times a day. Your dirty laundry always ends up on the floor, but it's always the same corner. Put the basket there. Easy solution. This is obviously the place where your brain thinks about getting rid of your dirty laundry, so this is the place where your laundry basket goes. It's the stairs, don't care. Just put it to the side so you don't stumble. Organize everything for your actual life, like it's happening, like you're doing it anyway, not for how you think it should happen and why you try to regulate yourself and all the things you're actually already doing to do them again, which is just stupid because you hate it the first time around. The third strategy is make boring things interesting. We have a different dopamine network than neurotypical or holistic people, and dopamine is responsible for a lot of things. Amongst those is the starting and stopping of tasks. So if you don't have dopamine, you're literally sitting dry on a lone island and can't do anything. You have a beautiful steam liner, but no steam. What do? You load dopamine. Put on your favorite song, dance around a little, put your favorite show on for the 27th time. It doesn't matter. Just sit around a while or stare at the wall. And your naturally easier to deplete dopamine levels will fill up again to where you can start a task, which is the next big point. Starting. Make it as easy as possible. It doesn't have to be the whole task. If you tell yourself one thing is enough and one thing is enough, it's more than nothing. You start, and when you're carrying yourself over the threshold of starting, most of the time you're in a positive spiral and continue to the end because you get the dopamine from doing this, which is the normal way for people, but you have a more difficult time initiating the task. So make task initiation as easy as possible. And what about the real big work things? Study, exam, PhD, big presentation, the real big deadlines, where you miss one and it's colossal failure. Easy. Simple. First thing you have to understand is that ADHD brains in this environment are made for doing the task at the last possible moment, which is a moment when the anxiety of not doing the task actually for the first time goes higher than not doing the task because everything else is more interesting. And that's when you do it. And if you do a really big task, so short before you have to deliver, your delivery is not that great, is it? You've done it, I know it. So what do? You make the big colossal deadline into smaller deadlines. And the thing that your deadline represents gets a representative. Friend, colleague, professor. If you have your paper due in a month, get a friend or your professor to do check-ins in smaller parts. Tuesday, send them your 3-sentence thesis statement. Friday, email them your bibliography. Next Tuesday, send your first 2 paragraphs. And thus, you still do the task exactly when you're supposed to, when the anxiety of not doing goes over everything else that's much more fun. But now the amount of time you have to do the task in, which is still the same, is for a much smaller task. And thus, when you structure this out, you can manage easily. And again, set the task to the minimum entrance. Best is if you do this already when you structure the task into smaller objects. Just write the first minimum effort thing that you have to do in order to start this task, and then do that, and the rest happens on its own. And if it doesn't happen, it's not as bad as if it wouldn't happen when you have to do the whole colossal thing at one go. Quick word on relationships. They're important to us all, and they're sometimes harder to keep, or feel more uncomfortable to manage, or the not managing them feels uncomfortable, which makes us not manage them for some reason. But this isn't just about keys or chores, this is about people, and they're important to us. Even though it sometimes doesn't seem like that. But they do get to decide what feeling important is like for them as well. So if you know, you structure yourself to that. And the make it obvious inside and mind works here too. Set visual reminders, the background picture, or an actual real life post-it in the background, or a little frame with a call me picture next to your bed. This is not less authentic or romantic. This is even more so because you decide that you want to spend time with a person, you understand how the person feels seen, and you dedicate a portion of your life to make this being seen happen. It's romantic as fuck. It's the dedication of choosing your partner, your hobby, your friend, your family. So to wrap it up, once again, we do not lack object permanence. Everyone above the age of 2 has it. I just realized sometime in the middle that it became from you to me, and yeah, well, maybe both, huh? We have powerful interest-based brains that are great at exploring and bad at tedious. But it's already called that, tedious. So we're struggling with emotion regulation and working memory in a world that's not built for this. But it's still the world and we're still living in it. So we do the adjusting that's necessary, but cut out everything that's not necessary. We do not idealize us to the world, we idealize all that we have power over to us. We use visual cues. We know and remember what stimulates us and put it where we need it to be in the perfect setting to get the chore done that we don't like, but that we want to finish, because in secondary or tertiary wish fulfillment, it is what we need to do to get what we want. So the goal isn't to fix yourself. The goal is to understand your operating system and build a life that works with it. We use visual clues, we add stimulation, we break things down. We chimney. Your brain's not broken, it's built for something different than's happening, and you make what's happening as similar as possible to what your brain's made for. So what did I miss? This was brief and still off topic, but I guess this is on topic. What are your questions to the science behind it? I actually did read stuff. Throw your questions in the comments below. And if this video helped, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. This is exciting.